live from an unpronounceable location. It's the Mastication Station with your host, Marcel Marceau, and this week's studio ed, Chuck Mangione. Our guest tonight, our temperature control expert and superhero, Larry Stevens, and registered nurse and zombie killer, Christy Craig, and musical guest, Salmon Chanted Evening. Our sponsor tonight is Roundabout Foliage Destroyer for weeds, flowers, and even larger trees. And now, don't hate him because he's beautiful, Tony J Lemmon. Hey everybody, what's going on here?
This is National Invasive Foliage Week here in Maine, and our sponsor is Roundabout.
Roundabout.
A company that's working on removing the invasive foliage from the Maine area.
So we haven't gotten it yet?
Well, no. We're taking a boat ride afterwards, being sponsored by Roundabout. They said it would be about a 3-hour tour.
Is that why the blue shirt? No.
I'm dressed appropriately. You, of course, did not read the memo.
I didn't read the memo.
Again, every time. You never do. So that's why we have these invasive species here. So our audience, if you recognize any of these invasive species around your house, call the Roundabout Company.
And what is the website?
Roundabout.org.
.com.
.gov.
.edu.
They could be the government. I don't know.
.com.
They're our best sponsor we've had so far, though.
Yes, they sound wonderful. I did read the memo actually. Now that you mention it.
All the other lawsuits are still
they're
done.
pending.
They're done.
But
especially that gluten thing, that was a disaster.
That was a disaster. Maybe we could use some of that on that gluten stuff that we had growing in the back of the studio.
In the back of the car.
Hey, welcome to Mastication Station. I am Tony, your host, and as you can clearly see, I've been working on my haunch muscles.
Haunching.
Or I think older people call them the I got up too fast muscles. So I've been working on that. What?
Dunlop's.
Dunlop disease. And here is the studio ed, Lee Daly, here to tell you what's going on.
Hi, everyone. Hey, we're in the little town in Maine, and our flight director put us in a town where they thought we couldn't pronounce the name.
Yes.
To challenge Tony and I on our geography skills.
And we can
yes, it is Kenny Bing Bank.
Kenny Bing Bank.
Bingy Bank Borg.
Kenny Bing Bank.
Borky Back Borg.
Borky Pig Pack.
Stiggy Wag Wag.
Maine, USA.
That's why we have no one in the audience, because people in Maine don't take kindly to us not pronouncing their name correct.
And how many people are here tonight?
6.
6 in the studio.
6 paid studio, and we believe one could be possibly a husband of a guest. There are 120 people in the lobby, and we were guessing about 2,000 in the parking lot with signs. Festive signs.
And the signs are...
The signs are saying a lot of stuff like, go home Hoosiers, get out of Maine. Very unsportsmanlike.
That doesn't seem very American.
I mean, we're putting people to work here. We brought our own crew,
when we're taking time to come to Squiggly Big Bank,
Big Bank Park,
Maine, you'd think that they would give us a little bit of, courtesy. And,
that's right.
And
a motel.
We're in a hotel,
There
weren't
were
we?
no pillows.
With no pillows. It was like a one-room hotel, right?
For the whole crew again.
Yeah. I had to stay in the truck. So.
It's good because you snore.
There is a warning out there right now. There's a person running in the park somewhere over here defecating in the weeds, I think.
That's in Arizona.
That's in Arizona. So
if he gets over here, that's a heck of a run. That's a run, Forrest, run kind of thing.
Really talented illness from that. So our guests tonight are Christy Craig, and she is a nurse here in town, and she'll tell you about why she did that.
Nursing.
The awesomeness of it.
Being a nurse, awesome.
As well as Larry Stevens.
Larry.
He works with some businesses in the area with temperature control. And so we're going to try to keep our temperature low tonight with that.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
freezing.
think he might even bring a pad of paper to point at. So
he's a hacker. He's going to hack. He's going to hack into our system.
He's going to hack into our system and
turn the temperature way down.
That'd be nice. I like that.
Unless you're a zombie.
Why?
Because they don't move in the cold. Didn't you? Winter is coming.
Yeah,
winter is coming.
Well, anyway, those are our guests tonight. So we'll be right back after this. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Don't leave.
6 of these days.
Tired of normal talk shows? Grab a cup of joe and stay up late for Mastication Station, North America's oddest local talk show. Mastication Station's... Oh, I dropped my script. I don't remember any... can we do it again? Where are you guys? Friday nights at 1:30, sponsored by Trouble Brewing and Blue River Nursery.
Mastication Station, every Friday night at 1:30 on your Fort Wayne CW.
And we're back. Thank you very much for staying this long. I think it's been good for you. Perseverance and all that stuff. Our sponsor was the non-stick Post-it notes, but they left. They're not here. They didn't stick around. So our sponsor actually is, Lee, who is it?
It's Roundabout.
Roundabout?
This is National Invasive Foliage Week.
Yes.
Here in Maine, where we're at. And
what city are we in?
We're in, well, this is interesting because when I talked to our flight person who books our flights,
yes,
they had watched a previous show and they felt that we were geographically ignorant. So they picked a city that they thought we would have a hard time saying.
Okay.
So according to my notes, we are in Binky Bank Bork, Maine, or Kinky Dink Wink, Maine. It's probably why we have such a small audience, because we can't pronounce the name of the city that we're in.
What is it again?
Binky Wank Pank, Kenny Bank Bork.
Peggy Babcock is the
Peggy
mayor,
Babcock.
I heard.
She's, the Kennedys are right down the street, that's all I know.
Kenny Bunkport?
Banky Bank Bork.
Banky.
Kenny Bank.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's what the flight said anyway, and she couldn't pronounce it either, and she's been here for a while. So, with us tonight is Larry Stevens. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody's clapping for you right now.
I can hear that.
Hear that?
Nearly a standing ovation.
So, Larry is in a business that works with companies like Science Central. What do you
Right.
do for them?
They have heating and ventilating, air conditioning equipment
Okay.
that pretty sophisticated because they do a really good job of trying to cut their costs.
Okay.
Okay, so I help them out to maximize the energy efficiency of what they have by doing specialized temperature controls.
Okay, so you remotely do that?
Well, there's hardware that's actually on site
Uh-huh.
that we go and we install and we wire and we program it. But we always try to make it possible to be able to remote in.
Wow.
And that's not always the case in various sites.
Mm-hmm.
But in this situation, we do have access.
So it basically just keeps temperatures at an even keel and all that stuff?
It does that, and it also does some compensation for changes in the outside air temp.
Mm-hmm.
Or it makes changes based upon the difference in pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those things can be changing, fluctuating in the normal operation of trying to heat and cool the building.
What's the most difficult part of all that stuff that you have to do for them?
Making it work.
Making it work.
Yeah, it's good. It's real easy on paper. I can draw it up and come up with all the stuff. But then actually writing the logic and then testing it out and verifying.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of math involved?
There's quite a bit of math.
Wow. Oh,
Could you
interesting.
hack into their system?
No.
Well, if you're remote, could you just turn the thermostat way down?
Well, yeah. I mean, anybody who has that kind of authority can. Yeah, I could make it really kind of uncomfortable. But why would I do
You
that?
control the
Then I
weather
could
at
also.
Science Central.
Then I could also go to jail for that.
Well, that's
no.
temperature control, too.
Technically, I can't. I can't take it to the point where it's going to do anything wrong like
Okay.
that.
That's probably good.
Speaking of temperature control, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
That's good.
segue.
Good segue there. Temperature control. Well, you know, sometimes those two to go together because I
Yes.
guarantee you eat brie that's been sitting at the wrong temperature,
Oh.
and the consequences are pretty intense.
Wow. Yes.
Ooh.
So I've never done that. But I, when I was, I was
6,
no
10,
4,
3,
1,
14,
somewhere between the age of
Pi.
28.
2
2,
and
17,
4.
2 and 4.
3.
Yes. Thank you for
some money
helping me out with this. I could not have made it without you here. The thing is that I lived in Japan
It's
Okay.
a holy hand grenade.
Between
Yes.
2 and 4, you lived in Japan?
Yeah, well, maybe closer to 1 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was, about the time that my brother was born, when I
Okay.
was 4,
Mhm.
that wasn't long after that we moved to Hawaii, which is a really downer.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
from
anyway,
Japan to, yeah.
yeah. So the first part of my life, you can see that I would have various places to find food to eat that some people might find as unacceptable, other people might think it was pretty cool, kind of interesting. So when I was in Japan, we would, my mom, I'd go shopping with her, and we'd walk through the shops, and they'd always have street vendors, and there were certain things that my mom would allow me to eat, and there's certain things that she wouldn't. And but what was amazing was I probably have had 3 or 4 different species of insects.
Ooh. Species.
Yeah, different.
Like, were they deep fried or were they sauteed?
Sometimes
or?
they were just roasted,
Okay.
and sometimes they were deep fried.
Were
But
they
the majority of all
moving?
of them can't handle the deep fried thing.
Okay.
None of them. None of
Yeah,
them.
we
were-
think that
The
would
bugs
be bad for them. Bad for their health to be thrown
Yeah,
in
the deep fried. Well, I mean, you could deep fry ants, but what would you pull out? Charcoal.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't have much there. Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't ask what it was that I was and I
So like cockroaches or crickets or
no, I'm
walking
thinking.
sticks
I'm
or-
thinking. I'm talking in terms of meat on a stick.
Oh, okay. Okay, so meat on a stick, and you're not
Yeah.
going to ask what that meat is?
Well, I at the time, no, I never did.
Mm-hmm.
I never did.
So what was it?
Well, that's just it. You never really knew, but
Oh.
when you walked down the shop, you could see various different types of animals
Mm-hmm.
where the symbols were up, that they sell this and they sell this. And so
Mm-hmm.
after a while, you kind of got a picture of,
Oh, my neighbor's pet's gone.
yeah. Yeah.
Delish. Yeah. Have you ever had any near-death experiences?
Oh, yeah.
See, this is just random.
You're just throwing it out there.
I'm just
You're quick.
randomly-
You're
Well,
on tonight.
it's not like we planned anything.
No, it's a hat with
a hat.
with questions.
That's it, just you
near
pull-
death. What do you eat? Where do you work?
When I was a much younger boy, and we had a 55-gallon drum sitting out on the driveway, and I dropped something down in there that I wanted. And so I got up and leaned over and bent over
Oh.
and reached into the barrel. And I rolled up like the bottom of a candy cane.
Uh-huh.
So there I am, shoulders pinned, all my weight's up here,
Uh-huh.
and I'm bent over and I'm kind of looking at my stomach.
Uh-huh.
So
Wow.
yeah, and so that was it was really hard to breathe.
Was it empty or was it?
It was
full?
empty,
Okay,
but
That's
I
scary.
couldn't get out.
that's scary.
Yeah, so I finally managed to kick my feet back and forth hard enough at the top of it that it fell over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was your brother watching and laughing?
No.
That's what brothers do.
I know, but no, but that one I thought for sure I was gonna.
I'm done.
Yeah, that was
We're
gonna
over.
be gone.
So your life flashed before you, and it was narrated by Morgan Freeman.
No,
Bury you in your can.
it was no. I wouldn't have him. I'd probably want a female.
Okay.
Soup in a can.
Like Tiny Tim.
Sure.
Okay. Well, hey, let's play a game. You ready
All
for
right,
a
ready
game?
to go
Because you
for it.
know on Mastication Station, we got to play a game. So here it is. We're going to play fact or crap. Lee is going to say something that might be true, and it might not be true. Now, he didn't wear his glasses, so we're going to see if he can actually read. But he's going to say something, and I'm going to hold up the fact side or the crap side. So go ahead and read the first one. We're gonna
do a practice one?
We're going to do a practice one?
Do a practice one?
Fine.
Fine.
We get, all right, you ready?
Yeah.
Ufology is the study of unidentified flying objects.
What is it called?
Ufology.
Ufology.
Fact or crap?
I say crap.
It's a fact.
Oh.
Oof as in UFO?
Like oof. Okay.
UFO? Okay.
We're going to play to
Okay,
two.
for real.
Let's see who wins after two.
2, it's a short game.
Well, we're running out of time.
That's true.
That is a fact.
Okay. California's state motto is Land of Milk and Honey.
Oh. You might know this. You're a traveler. I'm going to say fact.
I think it's crap.
Crap. It is Eureka, which means I found it. That would be gold.
Okay. All right.
Again, back to the
If
History
you get one
Channel.
more, you win. And I usually lose. Unless I
Right.
cheat.
Because you cheated. Country singer Patsy Cline called her autobiography Coal Miner's Daughter.
Oh, I got to go with fact.
That's crap. It's Loretta Lynn.
Well,
Oh.
Suckers.
oh man, I should have.
Okay, here's a tiebreaker.
Okay, tiebreaker. This is worth 2.
Oh, okay. You
7.
should both. Well, Tony, you might get this because I'm probably not. The official name of Burma is the Union of Miramar.
Miramar?
Miramar. Do I study?
Yes.
That's a fact. Bingo! Ding, 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 ding. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Hey, everybody, welcome and thank you to Larry for being here.
Thanks, Larry.
Thanks very much. We'll be back after this.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have your life held in the balance by a 15-year-old driving student? Shh, keep driving. Well, wonder no more. Order your copy of A Blunderful Joyride, Memoirs of a Driving Instructor, on sale now at Amazon.com or in your grocer's freezer. A Blunderful Joyride. Like it on Facebook, love it at Amazon.com, read it wherever you read things.
Okay, well, hey, that happened. Hey, we're back, and Leah's going to tell you who the sponsor is and where we're at, because I forget.
This week's sponsor is has to do with the National Invasive Foliage Week here in Maine, and our sponsor is Roundabout.
Yes.
They're a lucrative death-dealing spray company that's working on getting rid of the invasive flowers. that we
Lucrative
have
death.
here.
That's wonderful.
Bringer of death, yeah, here
Yeah.
in Maine. Well, they do things differently. We're in the hometown of the Kennedys. We're in Benke Dinkwark. Dinky. Well, the person who books our flights for our shows wanted to challenge Tony and I that we couldn't actually pronounce the name of the town we
Yes.
were in, which I think we've done pretty good.
Pinky
up until now.
Dinkport.
Dinky Winkport. Banky Binkport.
Maine.
Which is why we have a very small audience, because people in Maine don't take kindly to people not saying their name right.
And how many are in our audience tonight?
6.
6.
Six
Out of
paid.
a-
6 paid.
paid.
125 in the back waiting
That
to get in to the show.
meandered in.
And 2,000 in the parking lot with signs. Nasty signs.
What are the signs for?
I think the signs say "Go home, Hoosiers." I think they misspelled Hoosiers though.
That happens.
So
It
it's
was
their own
H-U
fault.
with an umlaut, right?
Yeah, something about biting your ear. Use your ear there. So that's
Yeah.
where we're at.
Well, hey, our guest tonight is Christy Craig, and she is a nurse here in town. Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
And I'm going to ask you, why did you become a nurse?
Okay. Couple.
Let me.
Oh, move my lovely flowers.
Get your lunch out of the way.
Couple reasons. I would say one influencing factor for me was when my grandpa passed away.
Okay.
I had always been afraid of death and dying and people, passing away and things like that. And when he became sick, I just had this desire to be right by his bedside. I just wouldn't leave him. He actually went to the hospital on September 11th,
Okay.
2001, yeah. And so I just had this desire to stay right by his side. And I had always thought about maybe nursing, acting, singing, all these things when you're younger, but that just sticks out as a moment for me. I just had this desire to stay by his side, and I did, and I just, cared for him while he was in his bed, and kind of thought about nursing a little bit. And then one day I was sitting in my children's pediatrician office, and a couple had brought a child in, and she had to be about 9 months old, and she had a trach. And it was clogged, and so she sounded like she was just basically gasping and snorting for air. And I just remember sitting there with my kids, and they were non-English speaking couple, and just feeling like I wanted to pray with them. And so I kind of just said a prayer with my kids, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's just heartbreaking. And at that moment, I was like, I will never be a nurse. I could never deal with that. And so I went into the kids' office when the doctor had called us back, and he came in, and he and I were pretty close. And I told him, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think, I don't think I can be a nurse because I don't think that I can do that. And he looked at me and he said, well, if we don't take care of them, who will?
Ooh, that's
And
good.
in that moment, I thought, you know what? You're right. It's not about how hard it is and the things that we see. Somebody has to be there to take care of them, and I want it to be. And so that pretty much solidified that for me.
So all that mixed together really
With
gave you that
everything.
desire.
Yep.
That's cool. How long did it take you to become a nurse? How much schooling did you have to have?
Well, I kind of took it slow in school, which looking back now, I wish I would have went a little bit faster because I was a stay-at-home mom and I only went part-time for all my prereqs, so that took me a long time. And I really should have went full-time with that. But once I got in, I think I was in school for like almost 5 years total, but the nursing program itself was 2 years.
Oh, okay. So you took a 2-year program and spread it out to 5 because you were doing all the other
All
kind
the
of stuff.
prereqs, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to apply to the program and then get accepted. And then so I applied, got accepted, and then that was 2 years.
Okay. So what's been the most difficult part of the job or even the schooling? What's been the hardest thing?
The schooling, it was very difficult because I went from being a stay-at-home mom for 13 years to having nothing but like my who I was about my family, and everything was just my family, my family, my family. Then I felt selfish because I had to take a piece of myself and put it somewhere else.
Ouch.
And so, just dividing my time between my family and school was very difficult, but I have a really awesome husband who was very supportive.
And he's in the audience tonight.
Yeah, he's one of the 6.
Yeah. We've been married 18 years.
In a row?
In a row.
In a row.
Almost not.
All of them happy. What do they say? 18 years marriage and 3 happy.
That's right. 3 happy, 3 good happy
3
years.
very good, happy, solid years.
Solid.
Right in the middle
Right there,
somewhere.
in the middle.
So, but yeah, that was difficult. So, and doubting myself a lot, didn't think that I could do it, but I did, and I went straight through and didn't have to repeat any courses. And
Well, that's good.
yeah, so.
So are you required before you check someone to put your hands in ice?
Absolutely. It's part of our nursing school
Okay. So
program.
I've noticed that myself. It's
Yeah.
like, hi, stop
Yeah,
it.
actually, I was able to hold mine in the longest.
Okay.
Most people can only do like 10, 15 seconds. I needed all like to
So
20.
you
Extra
have the
cold
lowest
hands.
temperatured
That-
hands
Exactly. Yeah.
on the block or
Absolutely.
whatever. That's fantastic.
It is.
What's the most rewarding part of the job?
See, I love older people. That's they're just like my favorite people in the entire world. So just, whenever you kind of spend time with them, I did something as simple as taking a patient a comb to brush her hair.
Oh.
And she hadn't had a guest and a visitor, and she said, I love you so much. And she just gave me the biggest hug, and I don't know, just things like that, just being able to watch people from going here to here and watching them get to their best, or even being there for them when they're not at their best. Sometimes it's hard to understand why maybe somebody is crabby, or you know what I mean, but you just have to remember everybody's got something going on.
Yeah.
And what's going on underneath that, but just being able to be alongside them during that time.
And you've had some crabby people, have
I've
you?
had some crabby people.
So are they throwing things at you, or
Nope, never had anything
saying
thrown
some
at me.
ungood things to you?
Nope, not yet, but I've heard that comes.
Do you come back and say, oh, no, you didn't?
I would like to say sometimes, oh no, you didn't, but I can't. I just say, okay.
Do you have hobbies outside of nursing?
I really just try to spend time with my family and try to hang out with
What about
my
movies?
kids. I was gonna say, we go
Walking
to
Dead.
Walking Dead. That's my favorite show ever. Walking Dead and movies. That's pretty much what we do. We are the movie goers. They just know us there. I mean, they just, hi, we're back. That's one of the things that we enjoy doing, and we do that a lot as a family too. But yeah, Walking Dead, definitely love that.
I've already solved the zombie problem before it
What?
happens.
Tell
Just
me.
when somebody dies,
Me
tie their
too.
shoes together.
They will never go anywhere, right? They'll
Don't
just
you think?
on the
so.
ground.
Unless they're
not
wearing the
coming.
Velcro shoes, I
Right?
suppose.
But
Like
they'll
there's an
crawl
older
there.
guy wearing the Velcro shoes
Yeah,
with
that's
the.
true.
Then
What if we
then
put
that's a problem.
sunglasses? They're like really deep sunglasses on them.
Yeah,
They can't see.
that might work.
But they go
That
by
might
sense of smell anyway.
They
don't
do.
So they just stink a
But
lot
really,
and they won't
don't
eat
they
you.
all stink anyways?
They do.
Do you ever think that when you see them like kissing on that show? I'm just like, oh dear God.
You're not taking a shower in 3 seasons.
3 seasons. I have not seen that man
What is
pick
it?
up a toothbrush.
And Daryl, is it Daryl?
Daryl.
He's like perpetually greasy.
All the time,
Yeah.
dripping sweat, and
Yeah, there's got to be.
just,
there's
I
gotta
mean,
be
I
some
love
solution
my
to this.
husband, but 18 years, I still need you to brush your teeth.
Yeah,
I mean,
brush your teeth.
it's not happening.
Zombies.
I think the
whatever.
6 just became 5, Tony. I think I see him walking out the door.
There he is. He looks to the
He's going to
left.
go get a toothbrush in
mean
the
it.
comments.
Actually, I did.
Well, hey, I thank you for coming here.
You're
Are you
welcome.
okay playing a little game?
I'll play
Because
We have a little game.
we got to challenge each other. Okay, here we go. You got a little sign here.
Okay.
One side says fact, one side says crap.
Okay.
And Lee is going to try to read something that's somewhat,
Yeah, I got it.
understandable.
This will go good with our invasive flower week.
Okay.
Frangipani is the most widely used white flower in perfumery.
I think that's crap.
Frangipani.
I'm going to say crap.
I think
as
I
well.
dated a girl named Frangipani.
Wasn't she a singer?
No, she was a nurse.
Answer.
Okay, you're both saying crap. It is crap.
Yes.
Frangipani is a fairly rare flower.
Rare form of.
They'd still make perfume out of
Rare
it. Just
form
be
of
cost you an
fragipani,
arm and a
whatever
leg.
it is. Oops, sorry.
It'd be good for you Walking Dead fan.
I had a case of that fragipani once.
That's just
A nurse helped me with it.
We're
too.
actually doing a study on it right now.
Are you
I
fragipani?
can't like let up too much information, but
HIPAA.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bring the HIPAAs into it.
I'll keep you posted though.
HIPAA. Yeah, thanks.
Electric
2 more.
eels can create an electric shock equivalent to 500 volts. Wow, that's no way. That's
Fact.
dang. That is a fact.
Yes.
It just seems too
We're
specific.
tied.
Here's a tiebreaker.
Might be a tiebreaker. Which I don't know.
Kenny Bankpork has 3 N's in it.
Okay.
Yes, that's a fact.
I'm gonna say crap.
That's crap.
Oh,
I have no idea how to spell it.
Hey, everybody! Thank Christy for being here. We'll be right back after this.
Thanks, Chrissy. HIPAA, thank you.
Okay. Hey, welcome back. We had to clear the studio because somebody in the audience had an issue, and so thank God there was a nurse on staff tonight. So there's nobody in the studio anymore. No laughter.
We still got the 2,000 people. 2006.
Out in
now.
the out in the parking
Out in the
lot.
parking lot with those big signs.
Yeah, saying crap.
They say "Go home, Hoosiers." I don't know why. I mean, I got their name pretty much right. Kenny Bankbark. Pinky Bankbark.
Hey, it's been a great show, and there we go. It's been a great show, and if you want to email us, you can email us at where I'm going to put it.
above
Put it
your
right
head.
there.
Above your
right
head.
there. Right there.
Yeah.
Mastication Station at yahoo.com. Mastication Station at yahoo.com. We are getting a lot of emails about Lee's various shirts.
What?
So where are we going to be at next time?
We're shooting for Wichita,
Okay.
Kansas, because for some reason the
We're
East
going from Maine to Kansas.
well, the East Coast is, they're having this big celebration, big hurricane season, hurricane parties.
Yeah.
And Wichita is having tornadoes. So I think they're trying to book us in locations where natural disasters are happening.
Just to thin out.
Just
the-
to thin out us
Yeah.
and our crew. We're down to a skeleton crew, literally.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
just the 4 of us
Good
now.
idea. I think that's crap, actually.
That's total crap.
So, hey, we'll be back next time. Email us again at masticate. Whoa, what happened there? That was
No,
interesting.
you just got larger.
Mastication Station at yahoo.com. Have a good evening. Have a good bye, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.